Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. If you want to see the first part of this video, so the link is available in the description bar, and don't forget to subscribe. In the last video, I discussed about coronavirus and the role of physiotherapy, how coronavirus spread, the signs and symptoms, basics associated with the COVID-19, how coronavirus affects the lungs of the patient, and why physiotherapy is beneficial for the patient suffering with the coronavirus. So today I'm going to discuss how physiotherapy helps patient with COVID-19 and other respiratory problems. Number one, they provide education on activity, nutrition, sleep, and mind. So, respiratory interventions are for the acute phase if there is no risk of breathing complication, and once your patient is stable, then your goals are mobilize the secretion and ease work of breathing. For your goals, you have to perform interventions which include autogenic breathing, deep breathing exercises, breathing stacking, active cycle of breathing mobilization, and manual techniques include percussion, vibration, and assisted cough. These stages of intervention can perform at any stage of disease where appropriate and safe to perform. I only mention acute phase here, but you can perform on any stage, but according to the patient stability, according to the patient respiratory complications, and main important stability of the vital signs. This is important for you during chest physiotherapy. You are at great risk of contamination for aerial droplets such as sputum induction, open suctioning, nebulizing, high flow oxygen. So safety measures should be followed. Airborne PPE should be used. First, we go for the deep breathing exercises. Here I put some important points for performing deep breathing exercises. Number one, get comfortable. You can lie on your back in bed or on the floor with the pillow under your head and knees, or you can sit in a chair with your shoulder, heads, and neck supported against the back of the chair. Breathe in through your nose, let your belly filled with air. Breathe out through your nose. Place one hand on your belly, place the other hand on your chest. As you breathe in, feel your belly rise. As you breathe out, feel your belly lower. The hand on your belly should move more than the one that's on your chest. Take 3 more full deep breaths. Breathe fully into your belly as it rises and falls with your breath. Why we perform deep breathing exercises? So here I label some benefits of deep breathing exercises. Number one, it's a natural painkiller. It helps to improve the blood circulation and improve the posture. It reduces the inflammation and increase energy level. This is the picture demonstration of deep breathing exercises. As you see this area, when you inhale, you can see your belly area or the abdomen area get rises, or when you exhale through the mouth, your belly area gets lower. This is the video demonstration of patient performing diaphragmatic breathing. Why we perform diaphragmatic breathing exercises on a patient suffering with the coronavirus or any other respiratory problem? Because as diaphragm is efficient muscle of breathing and is large dome-shaped muscle located at the base of lung. For performing diaphragmatic breathing, follow the instructions as I discussed earlier. Number one, lying down, or you can done this in sitting position, but comfortable for your patient. Body should be relaxed as possible. For giving more relaxation, you can use a pillow or a firm roll under the knees of the patient. Then ask your patient to close eyes first. For even better awareness, scan your body. For tension, to pay attention to breathing. Then ask your patient to place hand on the part, your chest or abdomen, that seems to rise and fall most with each breath. This point is important. because the main point is to utilize the lower part of the lung. If your patient is not performing by using lower part of the lung, then your deep breathing or diaphragmatic breathing exercise will be done incorrectly. Ask your patient, place both of hands on abdomen and chest, follow breathing and notice how abdomen rise and fall. Now instruct your patient to breathe through your nose as deep as can, and then notice chest is moving in symmetry with abdomen. Finally, ask your patient to exhale through nose, exhale through mouth, tongue and jaw should be relaxed. As patient control longer and deep breath, then you can perform this by putting some newspaper or book on belly and watch rise and fall with breathing back. Same like here, by putting a book on the belly area and ask your patient or instruct according to inhale through nose and exhale through mouth and follow the breathing pattern. Then we move to the airway clearance technique. In airway clearance technique, you can perform one or more of these techniques according to the patient condition, disease and stage level. Airway clearance technique is used to perform to loosen and move the sticky mucus out of airways so patient can breathe better. In airway clearance technique include huffing, coughing. It means to breathe in slowly through nose, hold the breath for 3 to 5 seconds and then exhale with one and open mouth, similar like when you do fogging on a mirror. Then when you're performing huffing, which is the part of early stages of chest physiotherapy, this is important because a small breath in followed by a large exhale moves mucus from small airways up into the large airways. A deep breath in followed by a short forceful exhale moves mucus from large airways and ultimately out of the lungs. This is the time to clear mucus out of patient airways. After coughing, it is very important to spit out the mucus and not to swallow it. Respiratory therapists and physiotherapists should be careful when performing huffing technique on a coronavirus patient because at this stage, the chance of getting infection is little higher. The question is why you perform this technique on a patient suffering with the coronavirus. As I mentioned in my previous lecture about the signs and symptoms of coronavirus, the main signs are dry cough. But if the patient is suffering with the already respiratory disease like COPD, asthma, or any other respiratory disease, the chance of productive cough is more. That's why situation varies from patient to patient. Then we move on to the rest of the airway clearance technique, which work in different ways, which includes active cycle of breathing, autogenic drainage, chest physical therapy, high frequency chest wall oscillating vest, a positive expiratory device, and airway oscillating device. First is active cycle of breathing is designed to get air behind the mucus, making it easier to cough up. It has three phases. First phase is breathing control. In this phase, ask your patient to breathe in gently through your nose to relax the airways. In the second phase is chest expansion exercise. In this, you inhale deeply and hold your breath for at least 3 seconds. You will get air behind the mucus and losing it make it move up into the large airways. Then third phase is expiratory phase. The therapist asks the patient to husk off to move the mucus from the large airways and finally go out of the body. Then is autogenic drainage. This technique use controlled breathing, follow three phases. First phase is to take shallow breath. What is shallow breath? Shallow breath is drawing of minimal breaths into the lungs using by drawing air into the chest area using intercostal muscles rather than throughout the lungs. Shallow breath performs to unstick mucus from the sides of the small airways. On the second phase, ask your patient to collect mucus by holding breaths for 3 seconds, and then finally in the last phase, ask your patient to move the mucus out of the airways with the little harder huff and cough. Just physical therapy, known for postural drainage and percussion, is when other person uses cup hands to perform percussion to loose the mucus. Percussion happens when patient is lie in position that use gravity to drain the mucus from small airways. At the end of percussion, ask patient to huff or cough the mucus out, but care should be taken not to huff or cough in front of you or any other person. I hope you liked the video and got a lot of information. You can send me your suggestion in comment box and also suggest me topic. My next video will be related to neuromuscular issue, so keep watching my channel and don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Good luck.